What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So you see what's in the title, you know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about $2,000 stimulus checks for one particular state and how other states are planning on jumping on board with additional stimulus and help very soon. We're going to talk about how President Biden extended the public health emergency, and we're going to address Amazon's price increases. Again, these are very important things, so let's get started right now. And all I ask is if you do enjoy these daily uploads, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, and also consider subscribing. Now, let's talk about another possible $2,000 stimulus check. Because for people in one state, and that state is Pennsylvania. Now, what we are hearing is that Governor Tom Wolf has actually proposed a $2,000 stimulus check for residents who make less than $80,000 per year. Now, according to Governor Wolf's office, they are saying, and I quote, "The cost of everything from gas to groceries is rising. And for Pennsylvanians living paycheck to paycheck, that can mean painful decisions. Pennsylvanians deserve to be supported and the opportunity to thrive. Yet my Republican colleagues are sitting on more than $2 billion of support that will need to be returned to the federal government if they don't pass a plan." Now, here's what you need to know. First off, it is $2,000 stimulus checks for every single resident that makes less than $80,000 per year. Now, I do not know if there's anything here for children and dependents, but this bill is roughly going to cost about this portion costs about $500 million. Now, this is not all that he's proposing, though. Here's what he's proposing. He also includes $225 million to support small businesses. He supports $204 for direct property relief, tax relief. He supports $325 million for Pennsylvania's healthcare system and $450 million to invest into conservation, preservation, and revitalization of Pennsylvania's communities. That's what he's proposing. Okay, so it's a big bill. Hey, this is big. And just so you know, because I know a lot of people have been asking, why do you continue to say that states are going to provide relief? Why do you continue to say states are going to give help eventually? Here's what we know. States have to provide their residents with some relief because what was written in the American Rescue Plan, okay? What was written in that bill was, and again, that was a $1.9 trillion bill. It stated that states have until December 31st, 2024 to use their rescue plan money, or it must be returned to the federal government. That is the reason why, and the only reason why I'm saying that states are weighing their options, because they are. We are seeing multiple governors provide different proposals, right? Provide different ideas. But whether it passes or not, we don't know. Okay, that's not a guarantee that a bill is going to pass, especially when it's coming into election time. Because what I can tell you is, if a Democratic governor says, "Hey, I want to provide $1,000 or $2,000 stimulus checks to our residents," well, if this happens, let's say the year of the election, guess what? Republicans are going to be like, "No, absolutely not. You're not going to win this election by giving our residents a $2,000 stimulus check. It's not going to happen." But after these elections are over, that is when we could actually see more funds and more relief going back to their state's residents. So that's why I continue to say this. And again, I've been talking about this for months, but states, they don't have to make a decision right away. And in many cases, they're not. They're going to wait. They're going to wait to see where do our residents and where does the state need additional help. But eventually, they will do something because they have to do something, or they send the money right back. So it's big news, but that is what's happening. Here's the other thing that happened today. Today, the Biden administration extended the public health emergency that was actually going to expire on Saturday morning. Now, this is a 90-day extension, and this will allow millions of Americans that have private health insurance and government-funded health insurance to continue getting free COVID tests, treatments, vaccines, right? All this stuff has been free, but somebody has to pay for it. lately it's been the federal government. Now, the Department of Health and Human Services says that it will provide at least a 60-day notice before they end this public health emergency. Now, many health experts believe that this is going to be the last time, the final time, that the Department of Health and Human Services actually extends this emergency. But what you need to keep in mind is that some are for this, some are against it. I'll address that in a second. But what this public health emergency actually has done is it gives about 13 to 15 million Americans access to health coverage under Medicaid and under the Children's Health Insurance Program. It has also expanded the telehealth services, and it will continue to do that. It's made it easier to sign up for health insurance, and it actually allows agencies to fast-track COVID treatments, tests, and vaccines at the FDA. So, and again, although I know many people are hoping that the end of this public health emergency comes sooner rather than later, the fact of the matter is that once this is over and it's declared over, this will get us more towards that, our normal lives. But many also don't want this because if we don't have this public health emergency, this means millions and millions of Americans are going to be on the hook for most of these payments from then on out. And I can already tell you that some people are already having to kind of foot the bill and pay these. I actually had somebody just last week comment and say that they were charged $100 for a simple COVID test through their provider. I can tell you right now, COVID tests are free. And if your provider is charging you $100 to give you a test, that's messed up. That is messed up. And lastly, let's talk about what Amazon did today and the big move that Amazon made. Because today, Amazon actually informed its sellers that they will be raising their fees to include a 5% fuel and inflation fee. Now, as an Amazon seller myself, I got this email, and I was kind of shocked because Amazon has already raised their fees. And when Amazon raised their fees in was it January, I believe, when they raised their fees just a couple months ago, I had to actually raise my prices to make sure that my products were still profitable. So what this means is that sellers that use Amazon FBA, and that's called Fulfillment by Amazon, what this means is that those sellers will be charged an additional 5% fuel and inflation fee. Now there's a lot of sellers, and every single seller is going to be paying more for fees or in fees. What this also means is that Amazon's prices, or through the Amazon FBA seller, a third-party seller, they're going to go up. Maybe not 5%, but they're going to go up. And I say this because as a seller myself, I am looking at raising prices. Now, just understand that, and if you thought Amazon's prices were already a little too high to begin with, and some products are, just understand that after April 28th, because this is when the new fees kick in, after April 28th, they may be even more expensive. So just understand that is what's happening right now. Prices are going to go up across the board. If you think you can go to Amazon, you're going to get a deal because, you don't got to buy in a grocery store. Well, they still have to ship it to you. There's still people touching the products. There's still people that went from making $15 to $18, right? All these things are adding up. So just understand, you will be paying a little bit more. But that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on, share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this daily upload, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.